Buju Banton is a controversial Jamaican dancehall DJ and singer, best known for his gritty, conscious and sometimes controversial lyrics and powerful voice. Mark Anthony Myrie, best known as Buju Banton, was born the youngest of 15 children in the Kingston slum of Salt Lane. He started DJing and toasting at age 13 and began recording music soon after. One of his biggest singles almost derailed his career. Boom Bye Bye advocated violence against gays, causing rabid protests against the performer and forcing promoters around the world to cancel his concert. The story of Mark Anthony Myrie, OC Buju Banton, next on Jamaican Biography. People fascinates me. Always have. Behind every big name Jamaican, I wondered, what is their story, motivation, dreams and aspirations? I want some amazing facts, childhood memories, achievements and disappointments. I wonder where they get their drive. Jamaican Biography gives me all of that and more. Welcome to the journey.
Jamaica, 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 Jamaica.
Buju's early life. Born in Kingston, Jamaica on July 15th, 1973, Mark Anthony Myrie, better known as Buju Banton, had a love for music at an early age. Buju, a word for breadfruit often used for chubby children, was a childhood nickname. His mother is said to have nicknamed him Buju because he was a chubby baby and looked like a large, round breadfruit. He later adopted Banton as a tribute to one of his early musical influences, DJ Buju Banton. His mother was a street vendor and he was directly descended from the colonial era freedom fighters known as the Maroons. Banton first tried his hand at DJing and toasting at age 13, performing with local sound systems. He made his first recording not long after with the 1986 Robert French produced single The Ruler. He continued to record through to the 1980s and then took some time off to allow his voice to mature. He returned in the early 90s with a rough growl comparable to that of Shabba Ranks, which he is popularly known for.
Well, what I do, I simply just let the music flow.
Yeah, and then
I don't fight music.
No.
I let it flow.
Buju's lyrical controversy. Buju Banton was one of the most popular dancehall reggae artists in the 90s, debuting with a series of popular slack singles which drew criticism for their graphic sexuality and homophobia. Banton converted to Rastafarianism and revolutionized dancehall by employing the live instrumentation and social consciousness of classic roots reggae. He first adopted the approach on his 1995 classic Till Shiloh, which raised hopes among his fans that he would become dancehall's great international ambassador as Bob Marley had been for roots reggae. While that never quite materialized, Banton remained a high-profile star into the new millennium. In 1991, Banton began recording for Donovan Jermaine's Penthouse label, often teaming with engineer, producer and songwriter Dave Rudeboy Kelly. Debuting for the label with Man for Dead, Banton courted controversy in the early 1990s with his first major hit on the Penthouse label, Love Me Browning. Detail his love for light-skinned women and drew backlash from Jamaica's large dark-skinned population. After recording a follow-up single, Love Black Woman, to appease his growing fan base, he soon found controversy again in 1992 with Boom Bye Bye, a notoriously homophobic track that seemingly advocated violence against gays. He first recorded the song in 1988 when he was only 15. Boom Bye Bye was re-released in 1992 and was reportedly inspired by an infamous man/boy rape case that occurred in Jamaica. The track caused an international uproar. Gay and human rights advocates worldwide protested the song's homophobic lyrics and successfully pressured promoters in several countries to cancel Banton's shows. The controversy created by the song almost destroyed Banton's career. Other hits of the period included Batty Rider, Bogle, and Woman No Fret, among many others.
When I realized that my talent was worthwhile to me was at the age of 12 years old, after making up a song about the community which I reside in. My friends all took it very serious and said, pursue a career as a music man. So I took that talent and nurtured it through the passage of time.
Buju's acclaimed musical career, 1992 proved to be the watershed year in more ways than one. Banton broke Bob Marley's record for the most #1 singles in a single year with the help of his debut album, Mr. Mention. Mr. Mention was a smash hit, and that year he signed a major international deal with Mercury record label. The Voice of Jamaica album, released in 1993, introduced Banton to the world outside Jamaica and gave him a huge hit in the celebratory safe-sex anthem, Willie. Rude Boy Don't Be Silly. Other singles from the album included Operation Ardent, a critique of police corruption and deportees, Things Change, which castigated immigrants who refused to share their overseas earnings with the family back in Jamaica. In early 1994, Banton released the monumental single Murderer, an impassioned indictment of dancehall culture and gun violence recorded after the shooting deaths of fellow dancehall DJs Paned and Dirtsman. As well received as Voice of Jamaica was, it was the 1995 follow-up Till Shiloh that would rank as Banton's masterpiece, a fusion of dancehall with live instrumentation and classic roots reggae. Till Shiloh consolidated Banton's move into social awareness and adopted a more mature, reflective tone that signaled Banton's arrival as an artist able to make major creative statements.
What would be your biggest concern about the state of dancehall at this time?
There's so much concern about the state of dancehall, you know? It's not progressing in a great form, you know. The old guards them need to chill and make the young youth them do them thing and get more creative and offer advice more from a standpoint that yeah, this is what is right there. You know what I mean? Because youth them need guidance, and instead of trying to gather them up and trying to manipulate them. I don't know about all the unity set up, but I don't see any. I see more like groups and splinter groups. Them hate each other so much that them go and take steps to try to kill each other.
His follow-up in 1997, Inner Heights, continued in a similarly rootsy vein and won only slightly less acclaim than its much heralded predecessor. In 1999, Banton recorded with the punk band Rancid and subsequently signed with the punk label Epitaph's eclectic anti-subsidiaries. In 2000, he delivered his Unchained Spirit, which found him growing more eclectic in a quest to cross over to the international market. It also featured a successful duet with Barry Salmon on Pull It Up. After a 3 years break from album releases, Banton returned on Atlantic in 2003 with Friends for Life, a crossover friendly record with elements of hip-hop, R&B and pop, and very little roots dancehall hybrid.
We try to make this music because if people cannot listen to this music like you see them today, it won't be viable, it won't live on. You understand? It will be something like disposable music. We can't afford for that to happen. The music must have spirituality in it. That is what the founding fathers intended. This music is only 60 years old. We can't run it astray too quick. You understand? So if the young generations that come up, they didn't turn it in a sex shop, some man turn it in a dance club. There's more to it than that. It's entertainment, yes. So we never knock it. I would never go there and say nothing about whatever my brothers are doing to earn them bread. But the foundation of the music must be kept, and the moral standard of the music must be kept. That's the only way we're going to take on from a man like Bernie Spear, who is 60 years old, and Israel Vibration, who is up in age. When those guys pass on, God forbid, who is going to be out here singing reggae music for the people?
Unhappy with the support he was given at the major labels, Banton started his own label, Gargamel Music, and released a single, Magic City, in 2004. The single was a preview of his next album, Rasta Got Soul, but an arrest on ganja cultivation charges sent him into legal battle for the next 2 years. When it all ended in a fine, he unleashed his strictly dancehall album, Too Bad, featuring the huge Jamaican hit Driver. The much more traditional Rasta Got Soul finally appeared in 2009. Over his more than 20-year career, Banton has worked with some of reggae and dancehall's most prominent producers, including Bunny Lee, Winston Riley, Patrick Roberts, and Donovan Germain. The increasing violence of the mid-1990s, Jamaica inspired Banton and other leading artists to embrace Rastafari teaching in their music and reach out to the youths. Banton's hit single, Murderer, inspired by the brutal murder of his friends and fellow DJ Paned, touched on the personal personal toll of violence. Banton won Grammy Awards for Best Reggae Album in 2009 and 2011 respectively for the albums Rasta Got Soul and Before the Dawn. I'll look at criminal charges in a few. Before we proceed, smash the like button to pieces. Leave a comment, please share the life out of this video. Feel free to subscribe for more content. Remember to turn on your notification so as to never miss another video.
Let's do it. Millions dying of starvation as the superpower plants another bomber clot invasion. Who has the power to veto? Stand up and say no. Defend your rights. You have already paid the price and been the sacrifice.
In 2011, Banton was convicted of conspiracy to possess with the intent to distribute cocaine, possession of a firearm, and in furtherance of a drug trafficking offense and using a telephone to facilitate a drug trafficking offense. He was sentenced to 10 years in a U.S. prison. A Tampa federal court in Florida gave Banton the most lenient sentence permitted for the drug charges. Judge Moody threw out the gun conviction, which would have extended the sentence by 5 years, accepting Banton was not carrying a gun and did not know his Confederates were doing so. The man is not dead. Don't call him a ghost, said 37-year-old Banton in a statement. The days that lie ahead are filled with despair, but I have courage and grace and I am hopeful, and that is sufficient to carry me through. During the trial, prosecutor James Preston portrayed Banton as a self-assured drug broker, offering as evidence several videos and audio tapes made by an informant, including footage of Banton tasting cocaine at a Florida warehouse in 2009. But the singer was not present at the actual drug deal at the center of the case, and Preston insisted Banton was just a big talker. Dozens of supporters wrote letters to the court, including major reggae artists, a Jamaican government official, several of Banton's 5 children, and actor Danny Glover, who called Banton a role model, philanthropist, and a spiritual leader in the community.
Roots and culture was reality and still is reality. But it a deal with reality now in a modern time which youth and youth can relate to.
Buju Banton has roughly more than 1 year before he gets his freedom, as US authorities shave nearly 2 months off the prison sentence. The Bureau of Prisons had originally indicated that Buju would be released from the Myrie Correctional Institution in Atlanta, Georgia in February 2019, but this was changed to December 8, 2018. The reduced sentence came months after the US Attorney's Office in Florida announced an agreement in which it says the entertainer agreed to waive all further appeals of his 2011 conviction on cocaine distribution and conspiracy charges. In return, prosecutors agreed to drop a firearm charge against him. The incarcerated but not silent Buju Banton launched his very own clothing line in mid-2017. The announcement was made via the Gargamel's official Instagram page. The brand, dubbed Everything BB, will display shirts bearing Buju Banton's image, while others will feature his song lyrics such as Over Hills and Valley. According to the Instagram post, Buju Banton apparel will be available on his website everythingbb.net. Thank you for watching the video. Drop a like and a comment down below and consider subscribing if you haven't done so as yet. Until next time, walk good.